Mannadium has touched down in Master Duel thanks to the new booster pack. We have Vicious Astride, Mannadium Prime Heart, and the crazy Synchro 10 package available in the game. Let's get into the deck profile, how to play Mannadium in Master Duel, what to expect, what end boards you can make, a combo at the end, and tech cards, and lastly, different variants of the deck. You know, Vicious brings with him Tearlaments, Scareclaw, even Kashtira as well. I think it's time to climb the master rank as well. Let's get into it. Mannadium is officially here in Master Duel. The Vicious lore continues, and if you can't tell by how excited I am, I'm so enthusiastic about it. It's one of my favorite archetypes. If you're a fan of the channel, you know that I love my Mannadium combos, and I'm going to show you guys the deck profile that I think you should be playing for Master Duel. You know, the cards we actually got some cards that were really early, and with the knowledge we have of the Mannadium deck now in the TCG, we've transferred a few of those things over into the Master Duel meta. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it, guys. I'm going to show you guys what I'm playing and why I think is the best Mannadium build for Master Duel until we get that new support with Trasukta and Amritara. Let's get into it. So you can see in the title, it's called version 1 because this version will change over time. I love the Mannadium deck because it's splashable in pretty much everything. You can play with Adventure, you can play with Bestial, Tearlament, Kashtira, Scareclaw is a really popular one. And I'm going to put links in the description to all my other versions of the deck. If you're a new Mannadium fan and you've come from Master Duel, stick around because I'm going to be doing a lot more of this. I plan to do a master rank climb with Mannadium with, you know, it's going to be a master rank Mannadium Master Duel meta climb to the ladder. I don't know why I just said there, but I'm very excited. So we start off with 3 Maxi. Of course, it's a Maxi meta. We're going to play Maxi at 3. It's possible I take this down to 2. In my opinion, the way you play Mannadium is it's full gas. And so you want to make sure you get to just see your cards. You know, we've included 3 Meek, the best tuner. Because we have these update cards that we were missing before, I don't think you need to run Fearless. But Fearless is quite fun. You can OTK with Prime Heart for like 50,000 damage. It's really fun. 3 Ash Blossom, respecting the Maxi meta. And we've got 2 Scareclaw Rykar. So Rykar is really important. And in the original version, I was running 1-1-1 ratio for the Scareclaw package. Nibiru doesn't even hurt this deck. And it's something I think a lot of players should get used to and not be afraid of playing this deck because of Nibiru, because of cards like Kashtira Fenrir, because of Arrival. If they Nibiru you, you simply summon another monster, make Cross Sheet, make Vicious Astride, and it's like the Nibiru did nothing. And your Vicious will pop their Nibiru, so your Vicious is 4,500. It's pretty crazy stuff. So running 2 for the Scareclaw Rykar, 3 Mannadium Realm Heart, the MVP. Just keep in mind, if you're new to Mannadium, get used to the fact that your Field Spell Calarium is out to get you. It is not your friend. Sometimes the monsters will have you know, higher attack than a 15-21 stat ratio, and make sure to play around that so your tuners can special summon to the field. 3 Visa Starfrost, the main character of the deck, the main character of the lore. Kashtira Fenrir is the new addition we're playing. I took out the Hero Lives package, and if you're a budget friendly player, you're going to enjoy that too because Hero Lives is an ultra rare. I really like that version, but I think Kashtira Fenrir is just way better. This is your classic good stuff Yu-Gi-Oh card. Searches Scareclaw Kashtira, which is a combo starter. And as I was playing some duels just to get a feel for the deck in Master Duel, I realized something as well. If you do Kashtira Fenrir, search Kashtira Fenrir, you can activate Abscission to pop the Fenrir, search Calarium, and special the other Fenrir. Quite a niche thing, but you know, also quite a cool thing. And so yeah, you've got to play the Kashtira package. This is semi-limited for a reason. One of the best cards in the game. Scareclaw Kashtira is really important, guys, because it is a negate. It's a negate that does not activate. So for example, you can attack into a Dragoons with a Scareclaw or Kashtira monster, and in Master Duel, where you know there's so many different decks that people are playing, you need to get used to playing against boss monsters that can't be outed. But it's also a combo extender. It turns into Lightheart, and Lightheart is full combo. I'm playing 2 talents. I would love to play 3 talents, but I'm going to keep this deck at 42. 2 Arrival, again, you know, you love to see it, this card. If you hard draw this card, you're loving it because you can search another one with a Rykar. And seeing that second means you're going to have another Synchro 10 on the field. Imaginings, I'm going to run at 1. I really want to run this at 2. But I think I'm going to respect cards like Ash Blossom, and I don't want to break too much on it. 3 Abscission, I don't think you should be running less than 3. In a best of 1 format, you need every chance you can get to keep playing the game. This card, more importantly, can search his Calarium. So, you know, 0 Terraforming is fine because this is Terraforming for us. And like I said, you can pop the tuners, you can pop Fenrir, and search that Calarium. If you already have Calarium on the field, this can search Reframing, the broken counter trap. and the requirement is very easy. It's a synchro deck. All you need is a synchro in the field. And so with this position, you can also special summon Visa Starfrost from your hand. A good player will know to stop and prevent Visa Starfrost from hitting the field, so you can't go into Vicious Shroud and gain advantage. You can even send this with droplets as well to negate monsters and then do a free special summon. Moving on, we've got 2 Rakophobia. So again, in a Master Duel meta, best of 1 meta, you have no idea what you're going to play against, just so you can have that grind game. More importantly, it will just out cards that your deck cannot out in a best of 1 format. And then we are running the 1 Pressure Planet Race off to find the Kashtira Fenrir and the Scarecrow Kashtira. I feel like for the most consistent version, you want to run this at 3. Call by the Grave, this is the Master Duel meta. Cross out for the Master Duel meta as well. Forbidden Droplet is my spicy tech for this deck. I think this card is going to be amazing, and to my knowledge, Kashtira is not as popular, so we can get away with playing Forbidden Droplets. You can definitely run things like Imperm instead, you know, play it safer with Imperm, and then 1 reframing as well. And moving on to the extra deck, I actually was playing 3 Astral Loud, but to keep it consistent and, you know, a bit more standardized, I took it down to 2, which is absolutely fine. We're playing Coral Dragon as our level 6 synchro. Of course, Trisuta is not in the game yet, so we have to make do with what we did before. I really like Coral Dragon though, because it helps us summon Gimma, which in my honest opinion is one of the best synchros in Yu-Gi-Oh! Extremely underrated. Against Branded, this card is insane, and it's a hard counter to Kashtira. Just so many applications for this card. More importantly, Coral Dragon can send a card to graveyard and destroy a card. You can also draw a card when it goes graveyard. You can see on the screen, guys, here we have Tri-Edge Master. So if you're playing the Prime Heart, if you're playing Chaos Angel, you want to make sure you have Tri-Edge Master, because he is the light requirement for Chaos Angel, and so I did include him on the right hand side here. Next up is Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Crimson Dragon is not yet available in the game, so we have to make do with Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon to bring out the Bestial Dispower. And honestly, it's super easy to summon with a Meek as a level 4 after you've popped it, and a Realm Heart or Rykart. Very easy stuff to summon in this deck. And then we got Baron Defiller next, which, just by the way, you can summon Baron Defiller with Scarecrow Kashtira or Kashtira Fenrir and the Ash Blossom. If you end up playing Ghost Spell, Ghost Mourner, you can also do the same thing. You can also see I've got Stardust Dragon in the bookmark list here. Now, in my honest opinion, in a best of 1 format, I think Stardust Dragon is actually really powerful. The thing is, with Axel Synchro, if you do its tag out effect, Synchro monster you summon is unaffected by opponent's activated effects. That's a big deal in a best of 1 format, and I feel like if you resolve that, again, going second, you are most likely winning that game. So for that reason, I definitely think you should consider Stardust. If you're missing cards like Gimme, if you're not sure about running it, if you're not sure about running Baguska, I would say chuck in Stardust Dragon. Another honorable mention is Chenging as well. Let's not forget, a lot of Mannadium players really enjoy this card. You can banish Reframing as a quick effect in the graveyard after you've done the Omni Negate to trigger the Chenging, and I think that's quite good. We have Bestial Dispower. You know, this is an honorary Mannadium monster. This card is insane because it will bring back the Visa Starfrost you banished of Vicious Shroud. And I'm going to show you guys a combo at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that as well. Mannadium Prime Heart, this is my personal favorite. This is something I want to include. You don't have to run this. It's more about his OTK potential. But you could easily take this out for that Chenging. If you want to run Zeus with the Baguska, you can easily do that. If you want an IP, you can easily do that as well. We have Chaos Angel, the MVP. We have this early here, and so I thought that was quite cool, because that means we can abuse the crap out of this card. If you make this turn 1, the opponent is going to have a very tough time dealing with this, especially if you have Reframing, and especially if we have the Omni Negate from Baron Defiller. One more very honorable mention I really want to include, and I've been testing in my TCG current version, is Adamancipator Dragite. And in my experience, when you play a deck that is so over the top with monster negation, you really need that spell trap negation to back you up. So I think Dragite is actually something you should prioritize, you know, after you summon your Baron and Beast of Despair. I'm just saying, you can also make it with the Realm Heart and the Meek again. And then moving on, we do have Baguska. I mean, unfortunately, we are going to get disrupted until SP Little Knight comes out in Master Duel, when this card is going to be irrelevant. But until then, you got to play this card. You got to respect the fact that your deck is, you know, at the same time, very powerful, very consistent. It can still break sometimes. You got to play 2, because sometimes you'll imperm one of them. You can pop it with V-Cess, bring it back as a once per duel effect, and then link it off into another Lightheart and search Rakophobia. So this card is not once per turn search, very good. And then the once per duel effect just helps you build into the Appaloosa or access code. One cross sheet which I really want to run at 2, if I'm honest, in a very strange niche grind game you might want to. We've got to play Appaloosa for the end board. Super Poly is at 3 in this game as well, so kind of afraid of what that means for this deck, especially it being Master Duel. You know, Mannadium is the popular deck at the moment, but I think people are disrespecting this deck right now, because in the OCG it's quite disrespected. So I'm going to assume people won't play Draco Quest, but they might play Garura and Mud Dragon. So just bear that in mind. Appaloosa and Baron make the Mundragon. It's quite unfortunate, but you know, that is the name of the game with Mannadium. Is do they have the Duel? Do they have the Super Poly? If they don't, you're probably going to win the game. And then to round it off, an access code Talker, which you probably don't even need to run because people are not playing Dimensional Barrier. However, it's just good to have as a last resort option. If anything, you could just run another Synchro 8, a Synchro 10, a Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. You never know when that pop is going to be useful, which can trigger the Meeks as well. And so guys, that is the deck for Mannadium for now. I'm going to show you guys some combos next of what you can expect with this deck. Playing it, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the combo I want to show you guys. Visa Starfrost and Mannadium Real Part. I'm going to show you guys what you can do with these two cards. This is without the field spell, which would be even better. So, you know, this is really something you can expect when you play against this deck. So we're going to start off by actually searching the Mannadium Meek. Main reason why is we want to make sure we have some tuners on the field to summon the Beast of Despair as soon as possible. Next up is we want to make Meek level 4 to summon Axe of Synchro. So we're going to pop it conveniently to summon Visa Starfrost and make Meek a level 4. Now from here, this is where things get really exciting. Let's go ahead and change the level of the monster, summon Axe of Synchro Stardust Dragon, and go into that broken Beast of Despair, which just released in this new pack as well. Now it's up to you what you can do. You know, you can bring out the Meek as I'm doing right now, and if you're playing Stardust, you can actually leave the board here as it is. If the opponent was to Nibiru, you can tag out Axe of Synchro into Stardust and perform a quick Synchro summon. So what I'm going to do next instead is I'm going to go ahead and summon the Lionheart Scareclaw combo, because we have the 3 defense monsters on the field, so you want to get that extra draw. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Another reason to play Stardust Dragon instead of not running it. So let's summon the Scareclaw Lionheart, search the Racophobia. We're going to search for a Scareclaw monster. Now, you can summon this in defense mode adjacent to any Scareclaw monster. We're going to draw 1 card as well, thanks to the 3 defense monsters that are on the field. And I feel like now that we've got to this stage, let's go ahead and summon the Bestial Despair by using a tuner and the Axe of Synchro Stardust Dragon. And remember guys, we just drew Scareclaw Arrival, or rather we searched Scareclaw Arrival. I think it's time we also look into summoning the Baron de Fleur, which is going to be quite exciting. Before that though, let's just bring it back. You know, we will eventually get to the Baron. Now we could go ahead and summon the Crush Sheep by using the Scareclaw Lightheart and the Visa Starfrost to summon the Crush Sheep. Now, of course, when you banish with Vicious Shroud, you want to be efficient with the materials you're using. You know, you don't want to banish a monster from the field. You want to send it to the grave and then summon Vicious. You know, just one of the reasons why this card is really, really strong. Now, I did do a slight misplay, and it's not a big deal. If you were to summon a fusion under Crush Sheep and have a Synchro in the other arrow, it's going to give everyone a 700 boost, which I think is actually quite important. So keep that in mind. I preferably put Synchros on the right side. Not sure why I put it on the left side, but it's not the end of the world. So then, yeah, let's activate Crush Sheep's effect. Let's not do Vicious Shroud. We want to bring back a tuner. You know, with this tuner, you can pop it if you want. You can do a lot of things. Most importantly, you know, you can bring back with Bestial Despair a Visa Starfrost. And unfortunately, I don't have Chaos Angel yet, guys. Imagine summoning Chaos Angel with these 2 on the field. Let's summon the Baron de Fleur first. Let's get this out of the way. And there we go. There's the Baron de Fleur. Because Visa Starfrost is on the field once per duel, Scareclaw Lightheart can come back from the graveyard. Now, we could go for Chaos Angel with the Visa Starfrost and Rykart, but I want to summon the Appaloosa instead. I think Appaloosa is quite strong in this meta game at the moment, especially with the new Bestial monsters. People will try and Bestial you, so let's use these monsters up. Another thing you can do, guys, is you can summon Chaos Angel with the Visa Starfrost and the Rykart, and then because you have more materials for Vicious Shroud, it's not once per turn summon. Bring out a second Vicious Shroud and then use that. Use the Lightheart and the Crush Sheep to summon Appaloosa. So that is a pretty terrifying end board with just 2 cards, guys. And so just for, you know, purposes of the video, I'm going to assume that this Nightmare Phoenix is a Chaos Angel for you guys, and then I'm going to summon another Vicious Shroud or turn on board with 2 cards. This is pretty crazy stuff. I don't know how someone is going to get over this many monsters, and I love the fact Vicious Shroud is not once per turn. This is the reason why I want to run 3 of it in the future, because it's just so fun to summon, nuke the board. It's kind of like Access Code Talker, but for Visas. And so there we go, guys. Like I said, there's the Appaloosa. You need different names to summon it. Keep that in mind. And there we go. So again, imagine Chaos Angel is where Nightmare Phoenix is, and that is a pretty good end board with a draw 1. There we go, guys. That is a combo I think you guys should learn ASAP with Mannadium, and why I think this may be one of the best decks in Master Duel. If you go first, check out this broken board. If you go second, you have enough gas with Obsession, with Droplet, with the searchability of this deck, with Fenrir. Let me know in the comments which version of Master Duel Mannadium you're playing. And again, I'm going to be linking all my Mannadium versions in the description. You know, it's been a lot of fun trying this deck out and finally seeing Master Duel. I'm going to be doing my ranked climb as well. Get ready for that. And that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.